Hello everyone, Steve Blair 2010 here with episode 9, the season 1 finale of Tea Time with Steve. This episode's featured tea. Instead of picking up the cup on this one, I'm just going to pick up the box right away because this is a good one. It's English Tea Time. That's right. Tea Time. Can't have a season finale without a tea that's named after the show, right? English Tea Time. I saw this walking through Walmart one day, months ago, and I thought that's the one right there. I'm using that one on my season finale. It's a really, really basic tea. I mean, it's literally just a black tea. That's the ingredients list. Ingredients. Black tea, if you can see that right there. But it's available at pretty much any store like Walmart. And it's simplistic, but it's good. I like it. Alright. So I thought for the season 1 finale, I would take a look back at Tea Time with Steve as a series, and also just to look back at my channel in general, you know, and just talk a little bit about myself. I know that seems a little narcissistic as a topic, but it was actually suggested by an old fan of mine. His screen name was Biohazard Bounces. He suggested I talk about myself a while back, and I never really got around to it, so I figured do it now. Although I haven't seen him around lately. I don't know, maybe he'll happen to see this video and comment on it, we'll see. Looking back, episode 1 of the series was really bare bones if you actually saw it. There was no real topic, there was no tea, there was no background music, it was just me talking to the camera, and it was generally just about my channel, like this one's going to be about, but it was a little bit different. I guess you could just see it if you wanted to. I'll put a link to it in the description. But it was really interesting, because when I first started this series, I just wanted it to be like a loose, you know, kind of vlog series. I didn't expect it to turn out the way it did in terms of each episode having a topic and having a gimmick like this tea thing. And at the time of filming the first one, I didn't have the name of the series in mind at all. It was, I just filmed it, you know, as me talking to the camera like a vlog, and then it was later, I can't actually remember exactly how I came up with the name, but I think I was sitting downstairs in my living room, I was watching TV, you know, thinking, what can I do with this series? How is this going to stand apart from anyone else's vlog? And I think at the time I happened to be drinking tea, if I recall correctly. Again, I'm not totally sure. And since I was thinking, what kind of names, you know, would come up when you're thinking about just, you know, talking, relaxing, you know, that kind of thing. And again, since I was drinking tea, I thought, tea time, talking, you know, Tea Time with Steve, there you go. And then I went to work later that day and talked to a good friend of mine, Patrick, who was working there at the time. He quit. And he loved the name. I said, hey, here's an idea. I could call it Tea Time with Steve, and each episode I could feature a tea. I actually thought of that quickly. Except I said in the first one I would name it Tea Time with Steve, tea not included. I believe that's what I named the first one. I can't remember. I haven't even looked at it in a while, but he thought that was hilarious, so I rolled with it, and that's kind of what turned the series into what it is now. Except for the whole topics thing, I just thought maybe each episode I'd feature a tea and I would just talk about whatever was on my mind. I think I mentioned that in the first episode. I say that I would just talk about whatever, you know, came into my mind, but I think this series definitely works better as one that has a topic, you know, for each episode. It keeps us kind of on track and gives it a little bit of a, you know, a framework, a structure. I think that's what's gotten it as popular as it is, even though it's not actually that popular. What I mean is, I think even fewer people than have, well, how exactly do I word it? Even fewer people will have seen it than have actually seen it if I didn't go the direction that I did with it. I think you understand what I mean, even though I'm kind of butchering saying it. And it was funny. It was funny what the inspiration was for this series. It was actually my previous kind of vlog-ish series that I did that was actually scripted because I wasn't as comfortable on camera. It was Steve Talks About. Again, I mentioned this before, that series is absolutely terrible. I didn't like it at all, but that's kind of what inspired this one, so in a way I kind of owe that series a little bit of credit because that's, you know, the father of this series is kind of what, you know, led to this one. So this series definitely superior in every way. as for my channel, I'm pretty sure I mentioned before that I wanted to start out just doing Guitar Hero videos because I've seen all these different people putting up Guitar Hero videos and getting pretty, not like insanely popular, but getting a few hundred subscribers, just from that. So I thought, hey, I could probably do that too, I'm really good. But then I quickly realized there were a couple things wrong. One, probably the main thing, actually, I don't know, it's both of these things are kind of equal. For one thing, I'm not using a capture device on my TV, I'm just kind of filming the TV screen, and that generally makes for a bad quality video, although I think mine, even when I watch them online, are better quality than most people's just filming the screen. But on top of that, I'm also playing on Lefty Flip, and I only know of one other person that plays on Lefty Flip, and I don't even know him personally. It's Biohazard Bounces, the guy I talked about earlier. He's the only other Lefty Flip player, that actually plays on Lefty Flip and doesn't just say, hey, for shits and giggles, let's play Lefty Flip. Only other guy I know of. So, definitely not popular on both fronts. But I've done what I can with it, and a couple of them have gotten fairly popular. At least by my standards. For a while there, I'm sure you guys noticed there's a gap in my, I don't know why I use this gesture for gap. Well, there's a gap in my videos. There's a point, I think it's right after the video Poetic Philosophy on the Mind, that there's like a 4 or 5 month gap in my videos. Here, I'm gonna go look, and I'll just keep talking while it's loading. And that's because that was a point when I completely run out of ideas because my Steve Talks About series was getting absolutely nowhere, and even at the time, even though that was like my best work, I was embarrassed of it. Kind of shows you how bad I was back then when I was embarrassed of my best work, but it was getting more views than my Guitar Hero videos, so I kind of had to keep up with it. Well, if it'll load, there we go. I had absolutely no ideas. No nothing. Hey, and I got another subscriber, cool. Alright, 32 subscribers now, pretty good. Alright, where is it? As I said, absolutely no ideas. Here we are, okay. Yep, you can't really tell now because it's kind of like that. How do I describe it? It goes from 1 year ago to 11 months ago. So it's like it could be any time in the last year to 11 months ago. So you can't really tell now, but between A Poetic Philosophy on the Mind and Let's Play Guitar Hero Smash Hits Episode 1, Dawn of the First Day, between those two videos, there's I think a 4 or 5 month gap because after doing, let's see, I did my Full Hell exploration tutorial on the Ballad of Gay Tony. That was only supposed to be like an episode 1. It got about 100 views. I said if anyone wanted to, I could do an episode 2, but I never got any comments saying so. And then someone unsubscribed to me, and I quickly did a video, that Channel Spotlight #1, that I never did another one of I'm Drowning in Footwear. That one, I rushed to get it done because someone had unsubscribed to me because I hadn't done anything in a while, so I was just like, no, don't unsubscribe, so I did something. And then I thought, okay, that's terrible, why did I even put that up? Let's just put something up as a filler while I think of something else. So I put up my Poetic Philosophy on the Mind, which was really good. Only got 26 views, but I'm proud of that one. And then months went by, and I thought it was over for my channel. I thought, well, that's it. Yeah. I'm just looking back right now at other videos. If this thing will scroll down, there we go. But then eventually, after talking to people at work all the time, about this, I got the idea from Patrick, who I mentioned earlier, to do a Let's Play of Guitar Hero, because I was so good at it, and, it's my favorite game, and we agreed, playing through the entire career mode would be cool. So, I started that. First episode was pretty popular, with 221 views, for my channel, that's pretty good. Second episode, 59, third episode, 42 views. Let's see, where's the fourth one? Here it is. 37 views, and then the fifth episode has more views for some reason at 38. And then I got the episode 6, which is 35, but I think it took a while to get there. It looked like people were starting to lose interest, so I kind of just gave up. I did actually film a 7th episode of that, but I never uploaded it. It's fully edited and everything. I completely filmed it, edited it, put it together, and I have it in a folder with all my other YouTube stuff ready to upload at any time, but I never uploaded it for some reason. Again, I don't know why. But it's weird, the stuff that got views and didn't get views on my channel. It's weird. Usually when I put something up and I think this is definitely going to get views, it doesn't. And when I put something up thinking whatever, a few people will watch it, it gets over 100 views, and I'm like, what? One video specifically, one video especially did that, and it was my China shot glitch video. It has over 1,000 views, and it's my least creative video I've done, the least original, and I consider it even less original and creative than my Guitar Hero videos, because it took even less effort and talent to do that one than it did to get as good at Guitar Hero as I did to film that stuff. But still got over 1,000 views. I'm not complaining. At least I have a video that has over 1,000 views. So I should probably start looking at the camera again. Probably be a good idea. Well, anyway, it looks like, you know, things have been picking up, doing pretty good on my channel, you know, with getting more subscribers lately and getting more views. It's been pretty good. But, you know, I'm still not shooting for the moon, but that's fine. I'm happy with whenever I just gain a subscriber, like I just found out I did. As for me, I mean, that's kind of like the big reason I started my channel, was talking a little bit about myself. It was because I had this talent in Guitar Hero, and nobody knew about it. And when I did tell people about it, they didn't believe me, so I thought, what the hell? I'll put myself out there and I'll start filming the stuff that I do, well, at least putting it up, because I had filmed before. And I've been using the same camera for years to do that. So I thought, oh, I'll put some of this stuff up so people can see it. I thought maybe people would appreciate seeing it. And after putting a couple videos up, I decided I think I'll talk on camera a little bit. So I did my very first Guitar Hero tutorial, and I was incredibly nervous, and you can see it in the video. So I just did a few more Guitar Hero videos, and finally decided to do my vlog series Steve Talks About. I was pretty uncomfortable on camera that whole time doing that. I don't know. But you can see bits of my my original. What's the kind of thing I'm looking forward to say here? You can still see evidence of my original motivations to start a channel even now, because even scrolling up to my most recent videos, there are still quite a few Guitar Hero videos just in this one square of screen. So I keep that up even now, but I'm seeing a lot more of me in the thumbnails than I used to, which is a good thing. That's what I'd rather see. Excuse that cut, I just wanted to check and see if the batteries had died on the camera. I can't remember how long it's been since I changed the batteries, so I wanted to make sure it was still good. But yeah, I try to change stuff up every now and then. But apparently, according to some people, that's a bad thing. I hope you don't mind me looking away from the camera so much. I'm just looking at my computer screen at my channel page here. Maybe I should just... There. Now I won't be so tempted to look at that instead of the camera. Alright. Basically what I was saying is, I try to kind of change it up and do different things, but a lot of people will say that that would be bad because people subscribe to a channel to see one thing from that channel. If they want something different, they'll go to a different channel. So that's why I've been trying to keep up with my Tea Time with Steve. People watch it, so I'll keep up with it, you know. That's what the people who are subscribed to me like. As well as the skit I did that I want to turn into a series, but for some reason I can't think of anything as funny as that first one that I did. I don't know. I mean, I've had a few ideas for different skits I could do, but for some reason they never took off as a script. You know, I could never think of anything as golden as that first one. And even so, would the acting be any better than the first one? I'll admit the acting wasn't that great in it. Oh well. I'll get a second skit eventually. I'm hoping to get a second skit up within the first quarter of the next year. We'll see. And anyway, because of what I found out about channels, you know, and what makes them popular, what gets people to subscribe, I've been trying to keep with the same formula of a few different things. But I get an idea of something to put up, I just want to put it up, you know, I don't want to just stick to one thing or two things. That's why I do things like, besides my Tea Time with Steve, I put up that rant about Google. I'll put up Guitar Hero videos every now and then. Haven't done it in a while, because I haven't played Guitar Hero much lately. I'll put up videos of this and that, just because it's my channel. Getting big, getting popular is something that has always been a cool thought to me, a cool idea, you know, something I wanted. But I also like just having this small fan base of only a couple people that will regularly comment. It's pretty fun, at least just having one or two fans, you know, that'll follow my work. You know, at least I have that. At least it's not like with a couple people I'm sure out there that nobody follows their work and they're still doing it. And they're better people than I am, because at that point, when I didn't film for a long time, nobody was following my work and I didn't see much motivation, didn't have any ideas. But, you know, I guess they're just better than me in that way. Now that I have somebody who's following my work regularly, you know, it's comfortable for me. I have motivation to keep filming. You know, at least, you know, that I'm getting some positive recognition for my work. And I don't have to get, you know, huge like Ray William Johnson or whatever, like I've said before. But, you know, it's still nice to see, you know, fruits from your labor. And that's something, while it's not much, I'm still seeing it, and that's, you know, it's good for me. It's still keeping me going in my hobby. Coming back to the topic of Tea Time with Steve, just as a show, it's kind of funny how the third episode about ASMR got so big compared to the others. It got over 100 views. I think it got 145, at least the last time I actually looked at it. Earlier in the video when I was on my channel, I didn't actually look at it to see if it got any more views, but it's funny, all the rest have an average of between 14 and like 40 views. And then that one has 145. It's just kind of weird that one took off. I've been told that it's because it's about ASMR, which I didn't think was really that popular of a subject, at least not in a video that's just talking about it. I figured, you know, ASMR in and of itself is kind of popular, but not something just talking about it. It's kind of weird. I don't know, I guess people just happen to see it with the name, you know, ASMR inside the title, so they figure, hey, let's give it a look, you know. It's probably something like that. But I'm surprised to see how few views, this is kind of the converse of it, how few views something like my episode about music, that got like nothing. I think it only got like 12, maybe 14 views. And my episode about video games that I just put up not too long ago only has 12 views now. And I thought video games was a really popular subject on YouTube. It's everywhere. So we'll see. That one might get a little bit more views over time. But since we're ending this season, I should probably mention, as I was going to mention in my update video coming soon, there's going to be a lot of changes. Not really a lot of changes to the way this show works in general for Season 2, but there's going to be things that are going to make it more interesting. I'm going to put a little bit more flair into it here and there. It's still going to be the same old show, still the same relaxed kind of atmosphere, you know, where I'm sitting here talking to you. It's going to be that one-on-one kind of thing, drinking tea. It's still all going to be there. I'm just going to add a few more things to kind of, you know, open up to maybe a slightly wider audience, try to get more people in, you know. Because, like I said, I'm happy, you know, having some fans. I still want to grow and get bigger. So, hopefully that'll happen in Season 2, and I just add a little bit more to the show to make it a little bit more interesting. Well, I think I'm just about out of stuff to say, so this has been Steve Blair 2010, and I'll see you next season.